than any other news organization in the world.
Good evening, everyone. Breaking news tonight.
Lester Holt.
Throughout the country, more protests
Demanding change. The most trusted TV news anchor in America.
That's Nightly News. I'm Lester Holt.
What does a safe school look like? What have we learned from schools abroad? And what does the science tell us? Join Lester Holt for an NBC News primetime special report. Coronavirus and the Classroom. Tonight at 8/7.
The South Dakota State Fair is the perfect vision of fun in 2020, September 3rd through the 7th. Be sure to attend our free grandstand entertainment Saturday and Sunday. The Big Air ATV Tour is Saturday, and Sunday is the Laser Light Show and fireworks sponsored by C&B Operations. So much to see and enjoy at the South Dakota State Fair. For a full schedule of events and to buy gate admission in advance, visit sdstatefair.com or call the ticket office. Join us September 3rd through 7th at the South Dakota State Fair.
This is a Dakota News Now special report.
Forced occupancy of foreign lands, genocide through the sterilization of Native women, and blankets from smallpox patients given to spread disease, the removal of young children to boarding schools to eliminate traditional Indian ways of life, and the banning of Native languages from being spoken. These are just a few of the ways Native Americans across this land were treated in the process of the United States becoming what it is today. Good evening, everyone. I'm Carleen Wild.
And I'm Sam Wright. While these practices may no longer exist, there are still some incredible obstacles for the Native American community to overcome to recover from centuries of policies and practices meant to eliminate them or keep them in poverty. The government, for instance, still legally owns and manages all land and assets in Indian country, allegedly for their benefit.
Dakota News Now felt in this broader conversation that the nation and the world are having right now about systemic racism, that the Native voice in our state and region needs to be heard. And in all honesty, we expected to learn more about how the non-Native population could do better.
What we weren't prepared for was a greater conversation about how many within the tribes feel nothing will change unless some critical issues are also addressed from within.
Conflict seems to be all around us right now. It always has been, though, shaking the foundations we become accustomed to, in turn offering the potential for growth if we work for it.
I like to call it the seventh generation mindset, because that's how our ancestors thought. They didn't only think about, here today, but they thought generations ahead. And that's how we're all here today, because our ancestors fought very hard for us to be here and to have what we have. And so we have to do our absolute best every single day to take care of what we have.
On the Cheyenne River Sioux Reservation in west central South Dakota, residents will tell you they have a lot. More than 4,000 square miles are considered home to about 8,000 members, and efforts to improve the economic, healthcare, and educational opportunities available are always underway. But it's the more subtle concerns many have they hope to see addressed in this new conversation on race and racism.
Definitely growing up, I was one of the lighter skinned people in my school, and definitely, I got flack from both sides, from the few non-Indian whites that we had in school, and then from the darker natives too, and neither side really identified with me.
Tribal members tell us it's tough to admit, and it may not be an easy conversation to have, but the subtleties of racism in Indian country don't always stem from the dominant white culture, like much of what we're hearing in other conversations. Peterson has cousins who are black, white, and native. Ethnic mixes are common in and around reservations, but he tells us it doesn't mean you'll automatically fit in.
There definitely is some lateral oppression for people who don't necessarily look native. There's the whole blood quantum aspect that's come into place throughout history that was essentially designed to make us fight and have that type of issue and that type of discussion around race.
Very few places on earth is there where you have a card in your pocket that tells you how real you are. So each of us is categorized at birth or upon enrollment into the tribe with their blood quantum. And so I think, that's a very divisive system, and, it kind of looks like it was clearly implemented to create that division in our society.
Tristan Chasinghawk tells us growing up native but off the reservation presents another set of challenges.
There is a resentment sort of towards whiteness in general, which is completely understandable. Like, again, like after centuries of oppression, like viewing whiteness as being like oppression itself. I definitely understand that, and don't try to think about it too often if someone's like, oh, like half-breed or something, or like, oh, you're an apple, or oh, like you're not really Native American because you don't really like visit the reservation or don't live on the reservation. And yeah, I mean, it can personally hurt. It did definitely when I was a lot younger, for sure. I really didn't understand why I felt like I was being blamed for things that were out of my control. I think it all ties back to pent-up aggression over centuries of discrimination, and that there's really no outlet for that, honestly. And so it's easy to turn against within intergroup conflicts than it is to actually address those systemic issues which you can't see or touch.
But much like those that have come before them, they're willing and wanting to confront all of these challenges right now.
With all the issues that we have, like it's better that we work together rather than against each other. Because being Native American, we have to work 10 times harder than the average American.
Moran is using her college degree and experience working for the state to be part of the change she hopes to see. She even ran for state senator in South Dakota's largest district. Fisher, Peterson, and Chasinghawk are inspired as well to change the current state of things and shape the lives of future generations down the road.
And so now we have people like myself, like my cousins, and other people on the reservation, Native youth, who are here and ready to step up again.
Whether it's the results of centuries of racial discrimination and oppression,
or simply personal choice, the urgent need to address one of the most insidious and deadly problems facing our tribes.
Dakota News Now is sponsored by Casey's.
With new Casey's Rewards, you can turn pizza into school donations. Download the Casey's app and earn points you can turn into donations to the schools you care about most. Or turn points into Casey's cash or fuel discounts. Start earning more ways to give and get a little more good. Casey's Rewards. Points for school, points for you, points for fuel, points for good. Now at Casey's, every fifth fountain drink you buy is free with Casey's Rewards. Casey's, here for good.
The Ford Summer Sales Event is here with great offers on a huge selection. Shop across the Ford lineup, America's best-selling brand. Now's the best time to buy. It's summer, so grab the family and head out. It's easier now during the Ford Summer Sales Event. For a limited time, get $4,500 total cash on Fusion. That's $4,500 total cash. Only at your local Northland Ford dealers.
Culver's is a family restaurant. To me, that means being the place that puts a smile on everyone's face. We're famous for our cooked-to-order butter burgers and frozen custard made daily inside our restaurants. But we've always believed more menu options mean more ways to brighten your day. We source the finest chicken to bring you our tenders and chicken sandwiches. And our cheese curds. They're a Wisconsin tradition we're proud to share with you. So take the next meal shift off and let us take care of you. Welcome to Delicious.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is our final boarding call. Summer may be coming to a close, but there's still time to make memories in a cabin loaded with connected tech and in-drive entertainment. Enjoy non-stop routes to summer in a new Nissan.
And don't miss the last of the 2020 models at the Nissan Bottom Line Sales Event. Get a low $346 per month lease on Nissan Rogue, or get 0% financing for up to 72 months on 13 models.
David Flute, South Dakota's Secretary of Tribal Affairs, understands and supports the dialogue that is happening globally on systemic racism, as well as the fury over a man dying at the hands of police. He says it should have never happened. What he doesn't understand is why no one is protesting the deaths happening in their own backyard.
His days during the week are often spent in Pierre or in meetings throughout the state on issues affecting Indian country. But David Flute, current Secretary of Tribal Affairs for the state of South Dakota, heads home when he can to the Lake Traverse Reservation. He loves it there. It's been home to his family for generations. He He cares deeply about the people, many of which are family, the land, and their way of life. Only he tells us all of it is under attack from an enemy not just outside the collective tribal nation, but within.
We have a lot of our Native youth and this younger generation, they all want to be Dakota, Lakota, but they don't have the values that our ancestors carried and lived by. And one of those values was being personally responsible for yourself and carrying yourself in a manner that's of good character, sound judgment, respectful, compassionate, firm, brave.
One of the biggest consequences of that, he tells us, is the meth and heroin epidemic. Flute tells us they are two of the biggest problems facing tribes anymore. He saw it firsthand for years as a tribal chairman for the Sisseton Wahpeton Oyate, and before that, as a longtime member of tribal council. But no one, according to him, wants to talk about it.
I've seen the statistics of babies die because of meth and heroin. Die. Not more than an hour old, not more than 3 hours old, not more than a day old. We just had a death the other day here on this reservation.
And while he understands why some of his own tribal members rushed to Minneapolis to protest the death of George Floyd, he cannot comprehend why there aren't just as many passionately addressing their own deadly issues at home.
I know of people, I won't name them, that went running to some of these protests and protesting against our law enforcement, who I appreciate, but they won't go protest against that drug dealer living up the street that's infecting our tribal people and causing hardship on our nation and killing these babies. Everybody's got a right to life. Where's the right of life to those babies? Where's the right of life to these young women that are being trafficked and used to transport drugs? The way I was brought up by my grandparents and by my family, my father and my mother, is that you can't go out and help people and voice your dislikes about a certain event if you yourself have things in your own backyard, in your own reservation, in your own district, your own community. You need to clean that up first.
Shane Avery couldn't agree more. Back on the same land his family has held for generations outside of Santee, Nebraska, he's doing everything possible as a recovery specialist at the local clinic to make amends for his own role in fueling the epidemic.
I roped for a living. I didn't do anything else. And in 1998, I was in Window Rock, Arizona at a rodeo. And I got introduced to methamphetamines. And it went from using meth once a week to using it every day to using it for weeks at a time, months at a time. I started selling meth in 2000 actually. And in 2002, December 30th, 2002, I was indicted by the feds for conspiracy to distribute methamphetamines. And I sold drugs on our reservations to our own people. The drugs engulfed me, took over my life. Everything that I worked for my entire life, I left it all behind for drugs. So I know for a fact that it's destroying our people by far, just like alcohol did years ago. We have to address our problems, fix what we have going on.
We're going to hear more from both men, but more specifically from Secretary Flute tomorrow, including the one thing he truly hopes everyone can make room for in this conversation about race or systemic racism. We'll be right back.
When we come back, no matter the problem, what every single tribal member we spoke to with said is crucial to addressing.
At
Vern ID Mitsubishi, we deliver new beginnings.
We've officially moved to the Vern ID Auto Plaza, located at the corner of Arrowhead Parkway and Sycamore Avenue.
We deliver an Eastside location.
Get 0% APR financing for 72 months on select 2019 Mitsubishi models and 0% APR financing for 60 months on select 2020 Mitsubishi models.
We deliver great deals.
Or select from our huge inventory of pre-owned vehicles.
We deliver affordability. See our Mitsubishi inventory online or stop by the Vern ID Auto Plaza.
I'm Christy. As a truck driver, I had a lot of time to smoke. I also had severe shortness of breath and a smoker's cough. I knew I had to quit. So for 6 months, I used e-cigarettes. Then I stopped, but the whole time I kept smoking regular cigarettes, right up until my lung collapsed. My tip is, just cutting down on cigarettes isn't enough.
Summer is here, and Bathfitter has savings that sizzle. Call now and receive 0% interest for 24 months on your tub or shower upgrade. Give your bathroom the makeover it deserves with our exclusive one-piece wall system and installation in as little as 1 day. All with our lifetime worry-free warranty on labor and materials. Save this summer on the bathroom of your dreams. Call now and find out why Bathfitter is the perfect fit. The Ford Summer Sales Event is here with great offers on a huge selection. Shop across the Ford lineup, America's best-selling brand. Now's the best time to buy. It's summer, so grab the family and head out. It's easier now during the Ford Summer Sales Event. Right now, lease a Ford F-150 today for just $299 a month. That's just $299 a month. Only at your local Northland Ford dealers.
Saving money in your next project with 11% off everything right now at Menards. Get window images, room darkening vinyl and aluminum blinds, faux wood blinds, and cellular shades trimmed to width for free. All window treatments are 11% off. Make your deck look new again with rock solid deck resurfacer and deck coat. A gallon is $29.98 after 11% off. Stop waiting and start saving with 11% off everything. Now at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
Dakota News Now is sponsored by Menards.
The key to addressing and overcoming centuries of the system meant to oppress Native Americans, wo'omspe, or education, we're told saving the language, the culture, and the teaching of the history so that it doesn't repeat itself will lead to a better future for all.
While meeting the many people involved in this special, we've seen how they are doing their part to help move forward. More importantly, to become leaders, reclaim their identity, and understand their history. Higher education is a big part of that. Right now, about 17% of Native American students continue their education after high school, compared to 60% of the U.S. population, a statistic we were told needs to change. Tristan Chasinghawk has pursued higher education at the University of South Dakota and Cornell University. Many of his friends from the Cheyenne River Reservation are realizing similar goals.
Some of those people have gone on to, of course, like go to Columbia or go to Stanford and these brilliant schools where they're getting a world-class education.
Dusty Bolio is a strong advocate for ongoing learning and bringing ideas back to the Flandreau-Santee Sioux Reservation. He and his team also work with tribal members by teaching them about their culture and dialect through the Dakota language class. Knowing Native history is imperative to him because most of it is missing from traditional education.
We're the most documented people in the United States, but yet we don't have that information, or a lot of our information is gone. So to kind of rekindle that and to push them to be the best that they can be.
Bolio also believes it's important to help shape younger minds by exposing them to the native and non-native worlds.
The world is bigger than just Flandreau, that it's bigger than this little reservation, that there's a lot of good people out there willing to help us to succeed.
Carl Peterson majored in computer design at Dakota State University and found added inspiration through school at the Indian University of North America. Classes at the school, which is part of Crazy Horse Memorial, were composed of dozens of natives from different tribes and backgrounds. He learned that only a few had made a teepee before and felt he could help teach people in his own way by making a game that instructs players in Lakota how to build a teepee.
The game's called Teepee Kaga, and that means teepee builder, to make a teepee. And I'm very into video games and kind of how that can help people have experiences that they wouldn't be able to have otherwise in the world. So I built this game where you put the teepee together and you're being instructed in Lakota on how to do it.
Peterson finished the game and had room for improvement thanks to former Olympian Billy Mills. Mills' foundation, Running Strong for American Indian Youth, provided a $10,000 grant to work on his game. Like Mills, current tribal members have thought about providing for generations well into the future.
Stressing to the youth how important all this is, because we're going to need our own doctors. We're going to need our own nurses, police, educators. We're going to need our own.
Two very strong and inspiring voices emerging towards that end.
We're going to introduce you after the break.
Dakota News Now is sponsored by Blinds Plus Design at Montgomery's.
Patio closeouts are at Home Seasonal Concepts. Get year-end savings on everything patio, now up to 50% off. Plus free sales tax, 0 down, no interest financing until 2022, and free no contact shipping. Year-end patio closeouts, now at Home Seasonal Concepts. New Bloomington showroom now open.
Can you imagine the best mattress in the world? Strong. Natural. Flexible. Breathable. At Comfort King, you imagine, we create. Because the best mattress in the world is the mattress that's best for you.
What makes Core Trust the best bank in South Dakota? Well, it starts with our Midwestern values. It's in our deep-rooted desire to help our neighbors and our communities. Here at Core Trust, we still value a handshake and a hard day's work. We're the bank you can trust to be good stewards of your hard-earned money and to help you reach your goals. At Core Trust, our values run deep. We're more than just a bank. We're your neighbors, your friends, and your family.
When you're ready to get back on the road, count on incredible value from Honda, KBB.com's 2020 Best Value brand. You could get a great deal on the versatile HR-V or fun-to-drive CR-V at the Honda Summer Clearance Event. Contact your Honda dealer today or shop online. Get a great deal on the CR-V at the Honda Summer Clearance Event today.
Wherever you start, wherever life takes you, home is always there. Strong, enduring, timeless. Stickley, made for life.
Enjoy 35% off Stickley at Home Furniture.
We're grateful to have had these discussions on race and the impact of systemic racism on the Native American community.
But there are so many more stories to be told, especially as change makers like Reina Hernandez and Pamani realize their potential.
We first met artist Reina Hernandez as she was wrapping up work on this mural in downtown Vermilion. Reina was part of a team that, for more than a year, worked with the community on an image they hoped would bring more people into this downtown space. And while it is beautiful in and of itself, the imagery, she told us, she hoped would help better tell the story of and give identity to modern Indigenous women. That comment stuck with us because honestly, what is the image that comes to mind when you hear the term Native American?
Growing up, I didn't really see a lot of representations of myself anywhere, unless if it was something that was tied to the past. So it was like Natives are always framed in a historical sense. And I think that's problematic. We can identify as contemporary. We're not tethered to the past. We're still here. We're still making contemporary artworks. We're still contributing to this contemporary conversation. But when we're being depicted in different forms of media as being in the past, it really takes away from the things that we're doing, and we're not able to compete on that same stage in the ways that other people are.
Hernandez has never considered herself to be outspoken or an advocate for anything. But this young, talented artist is quickly realizing her art offers her an incredible canvas in which she might inspire others like her to pursue an education and their dreams, and that the picture often painted of them doesn't have to be them. One of the other Vermilion artists has returned home to the Lake Traverse Reservation. His next job is for the Sisseton-Wahpeton Oyate Tribal Education Department. Inkpamani is helping create a new curriculum and books for the Dakota Iyapi Yukini program. Mani tells us the new materials will better educate Indigenous youth about their history, their culture, and their language, because these are missing almost entirely from traditional textbooks and classrooms. Understanding all of it, he and Hernandez believe will better prepare students to think critically about everything.
Diversity, inclusion, the LGBTQ community, and ecology, biodiversity. So these are like a lot of like larger philosophical ideas that we're having within, on the reservation, off the reservation, within artist groups, about community building, building economies. We have a force that's moving forward. Let's just say we've had enough of, you know, a system that doesn't always support us. We've had enough of feeling inferior or feeling neglected. And we don't want that for our future. 30% of the population is under the age of 30. Which is a huge demographic for our nation, and so we have a new perspective, and that perspective is really being shaped under social justice. It's being shaped under the thoughts of reclaiming our identity, which for so long was oppressed, or there was a lot of shame, and it was just neglected for such a long time.
Hernandez, who is already hired for several new mural projects in other communities,
we wanted to include the Missouri River just because people here have such a profound connection to it.
Agrees. Now is the time for these conversations.
I think we all just live in a world where like we expect to see instant results. Being able to take up space in the ways that I think that is really necessary for young Indigenous people to do. It's really just about pushing yourself to get through these situations that feel uncomfortable and unfamiliar, and then maybe that you're not confident in. Because it's really rewarding once you see the results of really just pushing yourself to be who you want to be, or to do the things that you want to do.
We'll be right back.
The First Alert Weather Team, only on Dakota News Now.
Arby's 2 for $6 everyday value menu is here. Choose from a crispy chicken sandwich, a gyro, and a beef and cheddar. Any 2 for only $6 every day. Tell your friends, tell your family, yell it from the rooftops, baby. Call that guy who still owes you $6. Arby's, we have the meat.
Incredible savings during the big anniversary sale going on now at Slumberland. Deals galore throughout the store, from modern sofas and chairs to gorgeous beds and lots more. Top it off with totally free shipping. The big anniversary sale at Slumberland Furniture.
Summer is here, and Bathfitter has savings that sizzle. Call now and receive 0% interest for 24 months on your tub or shower upgrade. Give your bathroom the makeover it deserves with our exclusive one-piece wall system and installation in as little as 1 day. All with our lifetime worry-free warranty on labor and materials. Save this summer on the bathroom of your dreams. Call now and find out why Bathfitter is the perfect fit.
For 45 years, Affordable Dentures and Implants has created affordable access to dental care.
And we're proud to have helped millions of people improve their smiles.
Our number one priority is always being the health and the well-being of our patients and staff.
So, we're taking extra precautions to welcome you to a safe and clean environment.
Because we want you to go ahead and smile.
Affordable dentures and implants. We can't wait to see you.
Your car, your experience, our promise. I'm Josh McCall, General Sales Manager, Audi Sioux Falls. When distinctive styling is a must, when fingertip technology is your desire, when outstanding performance is a necessity, choose the brand that has a reputation to deliver it all. Choose a model to fit your lifestyle. All available at Audi Sioux Falls. Located at 801 West 41st Street, Sioux Falls.
Incredible savings on Sealy mattresses during our big anniversary sale now at Slumberland. Get a Sealy Queen mattress as low as $99 or a luxurious Sealy Posturepedic for $9.99. Plus free shipping. The big anniversary sale at Slumberland.
Tonight's special is part of an ongoing commitment by Dakota News Now to talk more about race relations.
Thank you all for joining us. Good night.
Join us Friday morning. We'll have some live music to end the work week to preview an event celebrating African American culture. Aaron?
And Vanessa, we are going to see temperatures cool off. I'm talking about highs in the 70s and 80s this weekend.
You don't have to wait until 10 o'clock to get your local news. Tune in for Dakota News Now at 9, weeknights on CW Sioux Falls. Dakota News Now. It's news when you want it.
I miss school.